Hello, Assalamu alaikum. My name is M.Anas Amanullah, and today I'll be giving you a tutorial on Introduction to Quality Function Deployment. So we'll be talking about what is QFD, the benefits of QFD, the QFD methodology, and the 4 phases in it. So the first question when I hear the term QFD is, what actually is QFD, right? So QFD is actually quality function deployment. It's from a Japanese origin, and we'll be talking about it in the detail in this presentation. So there is no single right definition for QFD, but one that can be used for explaining it is that it's a system for translating customer requirements into appropriate company requirements at each stage, from research and product development to engineering, manufacturing to marketing, sales and distribution. The two prerequisites to QFD are market research and VOC gathering, because it's a process of building capability to meet or exceed customer demands, understanding the market, knowing the various customer segments, what each customer segment wants, how important these benefits are, and how well different providers of product addresses these benefits are some of the key precursors to a successful QFD. These two are the prerequisites because it is impossible to consistently provide products or services which will attract customers unless you have a very good understanding of what they want. So QFD was developed in Japan in the late 1960s by two Japanese professors, and they designed it so that they can get an insight into customer satisfaction about a product before it was manufactured. So the key rationale behind QFD is that for any company, customers are their number one concern, and they need to have satisfied customers because that is what a company runs on. And they want to have proactive product development because it's better than reactive product development. Quality is one of the major reasons why QFD is done, because quality is one thing that companies cannot compromise on. And the QFD is a methodology that helps an organization determine the most effective applications for many engineering and analytical tools such as design of experiments, future analysis, and process control. Just a general overview about how QFD helps a company. So the customer requirements are converted to company measures that are converted to the design, the part characteristics, which are then converted to the manufacturing process, and then these are converted to production requirements, that is the day-to-day operations of, for example, a factory. So when should QFD be actually used? So the company can use QFD when there is complex product development initiatives, you want new inventions, there are large, complex or global terms, you want extended product development, or your customers are complaining or aren't satisfied, you need to grow your market share, you need to extend the development time, you have an extended development time and you need to reduce it, you have a lack of true customer focus in your product development process, there are poor communications and you want to improve them, or there is a lack of efficient or effective teamwork. So these are the situations where QFD can be used. So what are the actual benefits of QFD? So it leads to fewer and earlier changes, there is shorter development time, there are fewer startup problems, there are lower startup costs, there is warranty reduction, there is high knowledge transfer, and a high customer satisfaction ratio. So the bottom line of QFD is higher quality, lower cost, shorter timing, and a substantial marketing advantage that can be your competitive advantage. So the methodology of QFD is that we use a house of quality system, and an example used here is for those system QFD product planning matrix. So what is actually the voice of the customer, and you need to actually translate the voice of the customer so that you can take action on it, because what customers tell you is very vague and it needs detailed definition. So for example, the one customer might tell you that they need a good ride, but it can mean a different it can have a bit different meaning with respect to different people. So you need to define what exactly is to be done by the factory or in the company. So there are complex relations, like for example, you can see that what, how, there are too many complex relationships. So you untangle the web by using a larger relationship box with what on your left hand side and how on the top of it, so that you can untangle this web. So the what is actually the customer wants, and how is the process or the product that needs to be made, and these signs show the kind of relationship. So if there is a particular what and how, so if there is strong, this sign will be used. If there is a medium relationship, this sign will be used, and if there is a weak relationship, this sign will be used. And then at the bottom of it, how much is used, so you get to know the statistical, and you can do the statistical analysis of it. So the correlation matrix is defined over here, where you have a strong positive, positive, negative, and then strong negative. So this is basically the competitive assessments. So according to this, you can actually see what are the relationships between the what and the how bad and how good it is, and how bad and how good it is in terms of how much. So you can actually figure out the important ratings from this. Now, what are the 4 phases of QFD? So the first phase is product planning, the second phase is design deployment, the third phase is manufacturing process planning, and the fourth phase is production planning. And this is the diagram that explains how things go in a company in practical terms. So this is how the voice of the customer is deployed. In the product planning phase, the results of the product planning phase 1 are then communicated to the design deployment, and then they are communicated to the manufacturing process planning, and then lastly to the production planning. And that is how the voice of the customer is taken into importance and solved. So some right questions that should be asked and some points to remember. The right questions are: so how was the voice of customer determined? How were the design requirements determined? How do we compare to our competition? What opportunities can we identify to gain a competitive edge? What further information do we need, and how can we get it? How can we proceed with what we have? What trade-off decisions are needed? What can I do to help? The process may look simple but requires effort. Many of the entries look obvious after they are written down. If there aren't some tough spots the first time, it probably isn't being done right. Focus on the end user customer. Charts are not the objective. Charts are the means of achieving the objective. Find reasons to succeed, not excuses for failure. Thank you very much. I hope this tutorial was of help. If you need any help further, please contact Sir Najamanjam. Thank you.